Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to have a look at how to make a negative sentence in French. Okay, so before we start learning about that, we have to make sure that we understand what is a negative sentence. So in English, you have a negative sentence when in your sentence you either have a not or an apostrophe T. I do not like chocolate, that's a negative sentence. You will not go to the cinema, that's a negative sentence. Ella is not a dancer, that's a negative sentence. Liam does not run quickly, that's a negative sentence. So let's have a look at this one. I hate hip hop. So I hate hip hop is like sort of a negative feeling sentence, but it's not negative. Why? Because there are no not. If I want to put this sentence that we're going to call positive sentence and make it a negative sentence, I'm going to say, I do not hate hip hop. That's a negative sentence. Have a not in it. Yep. Okay. So now we understand what a negative sentence is. We can continue. Okay. To make a negative sentence in French, there are 4 steps to follow. So let's have a look at the first steps. First step is a bit difficult because you have to find the verb and underline it. Then check whether it starts with a vowel or a consonant. So why is that difficult to find a verb? Is because even in English, we are not always sure. So usually a verb is an action word like walks or eat or do or make or cycle. All that are verbs because it's an action. But also we have some verbs that not really an action like is or am like in I am or have like in I have. So have or is are also a verb, not really an action. When you look at a sentence, usually if you really don't know where your verb is, you can bet that it's a second word, it's usually works. So usually the second word of a simple sentence is a verb. Also, if you translate a French sentence in English, like I walk slowly, I think that marche means walk, and if I can put I or he in front of the word that I think is a verb, which is walk, it's going to be a verb. See, so I think in this sentence that means walk. Can I say I walk? Yeah. Can I say he walks? Yeah. So in the second, I think this word may is the verb. May mean put or put on. So can I say I put or he put? Yeah, it makes sense. So that must be the verb. Okay. So I underline my verb. Here we are. So I say may is my verb. And I underline it. Okay. That means I know. I think know is definitely an action. So I'm going to underline that. Elle parle anglais. I think that parle means speaks. That's an action. It's also a second word of the sentence. And I can say I speak or she speaks. So I'd say that's my verb. So I underline it. C'est fantastique. Oh, that's a means is, and I know that is a verb. Also, it's a second word of the sentence. So that's definitely a verb. And j'écoute de la musique. Écoute means listen. I can say I listen. And it's a second word of the sentence. So here we are. I underline it. And so I notice that some of my verbs start with a consonant and 2 of my verbs here start with a vowel. So now I am ready to go to the next step, which is the second step. Okay. The second step are the beautiful drawing that I've made before for you. So your second step is to put ne and pas, ne before the verb and pas after the verb. So you have to put ne before a verb that starts with a consonant, but if the verb starts with a vowel, you're going to put an apostrophe. So you see it's like a phrase, you have the verb in the middle, and you put ne before and pas after, or an apostrophe before if your verb starts with a vowel and pas. So I've already underlined that. I know that's my verb. Start with a consonant. I put ne before and I put pas after. Okay, up a little space. Pierre met, you remember I've said met is my verb. So it starts with a consonant. So I put ne before and I always put pas after. Always two words to make a negative sentence in French. C'est is my verb, so I put ne before and I put pas after. Parle is my verb, I put ne before and I put pas after. Okay? Now, remember, it's my verb, I've underlined it. Oh, it starts with a vowel, so I'm going to put an apostrophe before and pas after. Écoute, you remember I said, let's listen. It's my verb. I've already underlined it. And I'm going to put an apostrophe in front and pas after it. Okay, that's my second step. Ne before, pas after, or an apostrophe before, or pas after, if my verb starts with a vowel. Okay, let's continue. Third step. So, if I had J apostrophe or C apostrophe in front of my verb in my positive sentences, now the C apostrophe and the J apostrophe are in front of the consonants. So the E can come back. Remember when we had two vowels, one went away and become an apostrophe. So now I don't need an apostrophe anymore because my E can come back. Because you can see now C apostrophe is in front of the N, so the E can come back. Okay. Now, last step. So we are doing the last step, and it's quite a simple one. We just have to check whether we have un or une or du or de la or des in the sentence, in the negative sentence after the verb. If we do, it has to become de in the negative sentence. Hein? So, un, une, du, de la, or des become de in the negative sentence. So, je ne marche pas lentement. No, I don't have un, une, du, de la, or des. Pierre ne met pas un chapeau. Oh, I have un chapeau. I want to remove my un. I put de instead. Here we are. Je ne sais pas. No, we don't have un or une or du or de la or des. Ce n'est pas fantastique. Non, elle ne parle pas anglais. Non, je n'écoute pas de la musique. Oh, I have de la, yeah, which is some, and I replace that by de. It's a bit like in English, you know, when you have some, it becomes any in a negative sentence. Okay. So now we've seen 4 steps. Let's summarize. So first step, you find your verb, you underline it, you check whether it starts with a vowel or a consonant. Second step, if your verb starts with a consonant, you put an before, pas after. And if the verb starts with a vowel, you put an apostrophe before, pas after. Third step, if my sentence started with G apostrophe or C apostrophe, then the E comes back and in my negative sentence, so I just have to take away my apostrophe and put E back. So we have je or ce, si. fourth step, if we have un, une, du, de, la, or des, okay, in my negative sentence, up, it goes away and it becomes de. So let's see if we can do that. So I have here 5 sentences. We're going to do the first one together, and you're going to put these 5 sentences by yourself. You're going to make them negative. So let's do the first one. Je veux un manteau. Where is my verb? I think my verb is here. Second word, veut, want. That's definitely a verb. I can say I want. So yeah, that's a verb. I underline it. It starts with a consonant. So I put ne before and I put pas after. I do not have J apostrophe. I already have a J with an E, so I don't need to add one. It's already there. But I have un, like a coat, and that has to disappear. It becomes de. Here we are. So now what I want you to do is to stop this video. If you have an exercise book with you, you can write these sentences and try to make them negative. Or maybe you can write on this document, I'm not sure. I'd say stop the video, try to make these sentences negative, and we'll see in a few minutes. Start the video again, and I will give you the answer, and you will see whether you've done them right. Okay, so now if you listen to that, I imagine that you have done all these sentences and put them negative. So let's correct it. Lola est grande. Lola is tall. So my verbs are probably the second word of the sentence. Is, can I say he is? Yes, I can say he is or she is. Yep, probably a verb. I'm going to underline it. It starts with a vowel. I put N apostrophe in front. I put pas after. I don't have G apostrophe or N apostrophe, C apostrophe at the start of my sentence, so I don't need to do anything. And I don't have un, une, du, de, la, or des. So here we are. Lola n'est pas grande. Lola is not tall. Maddie entre dans la salle de classe. Entre means enter. That's definitely an action. That's a simple one. I underline my verb. Oh, it starts with a vowel. I put an apostrophe before and I put pas after it. I do not have un, une, du, de, la, or des in this sentence, so I am done. Next one. J'ai un crayon pour toi. Oh, I think that's my verb because I think that's mean have. I have, yes, have is a verb. I underline it. It start with a vowel, so I put an apostrophe before. I put pas after. Oh, I have a J apostrophe and now it's in front of an N. So it's not in front of a vowel anymore. So the E can come back. So here we are. Je n'ai pas un crayon pour toi. Oh, I have un. I don't want un in a negative sentence. It has to become de. Here we are. Next one. Je veux une pizza. Ah, veux, wants. That's definitely a verb. I underline it. It starts with a consonant, put ne before. I put pas after. I don't have G apostrophe or C apostrophe in my sentence, but I have une, a pizza. I erase that and I put de. Here we are. Je ne veux pas de pizza. Perfect. Je prends des biscuits pour le déjeuner. Take. That's definitely an action. So I underline it. It starts with a consonant, put ne in front. I put pas after. My sentence doesn't start with J apostrophe or C apostrophe. The J has already an E after. Je, it's perfect, but I have des in my sentence. That goes away and become the. Here we are. So now you probably are able to do your homework. You can review this video if you are unsure or keep it next to your homework to make sure that you put all your sentences are negative correctly. Okay, bye.